Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, meet the neighbors at the heart of a new effort to attract and retain talented people in our region. Plus, join the ride to Pittsburgh on June 15th as cyclists celebrate the completion of the Great Allegheny Passage. But first, after more than a 3-year absence, Pittsburgh's signature fountain in Point State Park is about to spring back to life. The dedication of the fountain on Friday, June 7th, represents the completion of a $40 million restoration of Point State Park, the biggest investment in a state park in Pennsylvania history. Lisa Schroeder is president and CEO of Riverlife, which spearheaded the Point State Park planning process with the Allegheny Conference. And Jim Rohr led the community effort to generate the funds and interest to restore the fountain. He's executive chairman of the PNC Financial Services Group. Welcome. Good to see you both again.
Good morning.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great milestone, and it's been a lot of hard work for you, Lisa, over the past 10 years. Yeah.
Isn't it one of America's great places coming back to life?
So what's in store? What are people going to see when the governor throws the switch on the 7th?
Well, at 5 o'clock on June 7th, the public is invited to come down and see the fountain fired back up for the first time in 3 years. It will be very much the fountain that we all know and love that has become the international symbol for Pittsburgh, but it will also be new and improved in wonderful ways with sustainable, brilliant lighting, with a new pool around the edge for children and families.
You're actually going to invite people to
They're going to invite people, yes, that's right.
To do it anymore. Okay,
one of the things we heard more than anything else was people want to touch the water. And it was designed as an icon to be viewed from afar. So people who come will see now all kinds of wonderful and subtle improvements that are inviting people right down to the plaza.
Well, Jim, I know you made a priority of this when you were chairing Pittsburgh 255 years ago. The restoration of the park was a signature project that was selected, and then more specifically in the years since on the fountain. So clearly you have some passion for this project.
Well, before we get started on that, congratulations on 25 years of reporting the news for us. Thank you very much. You're a great Pittsburgher. Now, obviously, the fountain is a very, very exciting part of the park, and when we together put it together to put together the program for what one of the most important signature projects would be for the 250th, the park was obviously one of them. I mean, it had deteriorated over the years. The curbing was broken. The fountain wasn't anywhere near what you've designed, Lisa. And we raised the $40 million, $8 million of which is private. And I think the most interesting thing is that, like a lot of things in Pittsburgh where we've come together to do something, it turned out to be something far greater than what we had hoped. At Riverlife and you, Lisa, have just done an unbelievable job with this. This fountain is going to be a signature for this community for decades and decades to come, and the park itself is fabulous. It's just fabulous.
Department of Natural Resources played a huge role in making this happen.
The Commonwealth owns the park. The Department of Conservation Natural Resources has managed the project, and it is the largest park project in Commonwealth history. And we're very proud to say, although it's been hard to be patient, and we really are grateful to the public for being patient, it is the fastest such scale project in the state so far. So we've been able to realize incredible efficiencies precisely because the private sector came in to move things faster and to be able to choose the best technology and the best materials, and that combination, as Jim describes, has really been a win-win.
Well, yeah, I remember the original project. The Allegheny Conference, I think, started talking about a fountain at the point in 1944. They didn't actually turn it on until 1974.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you're talking about this was a speedy process. It only took 10 years. But it really shows sort of the civic commitment and the dedication and the willing to take the long view here in Pittsburgh to get this kind of thing done.
Oh, we've had 50 corporations and over 1,000 individuals that have donated money to this project, in addition to the money that came from the DCNR, which was obviously critically important. But it really does show how important this Point Park really is to the community, and it's it's our front yard. I mean, how many times have any of us spoken to someone when they said they came through the tunnel and saw Pittsburgh? And you know, the view from Mount Washington, according to Sunday Magazine and the newspapers, is the #1 view in the United States. And now with the fountain up and running and the beautiful park finished, it's going to be #1 forever.
Absolutely.
The region as a whole has made such a significant investment over the last generation, arts and culture, the outdoor recreation and the parks, but I believe, you know, since the G20 came here a few years ago, it's really been the riverfront redevelopment, maybe more than anything else, that has turned heads and sort of changed. People suddenly know there's something really new about Pittsburgh.
It's true. Everything now faces the river. The rivers are finally the front door that they should be. And over 3 million people use Point State Park alone now, which is really exciting. And many, many hundreds of thousands more use the trails. And now we have a dozen corporate headquarters and residential towers and hotels on the rivers. Really incredible to think that a little over 10 years ago, none of that was there. The new stadiums, new convention center. This is the rivers are now the place where people come to work and play, and it's a tremendous attractor for Pittsburgh.
Well, I know PNC, Jim, was one of the pioneers of this with the First Side building, which is about a decade ago, on the river, but also making room for the bike trail of all things to go beside it.
Yes.
Well, you know, that was part of the bike trail is a terrific thing too, and it's good. It's been in the making for decades now, and the idea that you can ride a bicycle with less than a 3-degree grade change in grade, but from here to Washington D.C. is kind of amazing. And right now we're going to have the last mile completed of that too. So that'll happen this summer. So there's two really big major projects that'll come together at the same time.
But it's clear corporate Pittsburgh has caught on to the value of this kind of quality of life investment.
Well, the reason Pittsburgh is here is because of the rivers, and all of the mills were up and down the sides of the rivers because everything flowed by river traffic. And then when they went down and they were shut down, really our riverbanks were ugly. I mean, they were just shut down facilities of days long ago. And the question of what do we do with them in the future came up, and that's where Riverlife came along. And it was, I don't know how many years ago that John Craig started it, along with Paul O'Neill.
1999.
1999. And Riverlife has kind of given everybody a view that we really have to do something special with these riverfronts. We have more riverfront property than any other city in the world. And so the idea of taking care of it was really special. And what Riverlife has done is really just terrific in terms of maintaining quality things taking place on the riverfronts.
Well, it's exciting. So Friday, June 7th.
There will be light displays, artistic light installation. So that's in the evening after dark, and then a ribbon cutting, or we're going to turn on the fountain. We're going to turn on the fountain,
so, right?
And it will be back to its more than its glory, and then we're going to have a big party free for the public.
Excellent. Well, it's really exciting. Looking forward. Congratulations for all the work over all these years to get it done. Lisa Schroeder from Riverlife, Jim Rohr from PNC. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
And next up, meet the neighbors, volunteers who are helping to attract the best and the brightest to our region and helping to keep them here. Stay with us.